Your fake patois already?
Don't do this.
Let's go.
Okay.
How's our sound? Are we good?
All right. Mic check. Wow. So we'll start with my bullshit. Out the gate. Guys, new year, new me. I guess I could definitely say that. I am now an AT alien. After 13 years of being in New York City, I have now relocated back to the South, back to the dirty. Really excited for all of the things and all of the opportunities that I do have happening in Atlanta. Y'all will hear me address that too, because motherfuckers out here thinking that things don't grow upon the horizon. And well, they do. I have really good things upon the horizon, including this show. Really excited to be here. And I'm going to go ahead and just let y'all have it. Say everything that y'all probably think I'm afraid to say, but I'm not. So, see, the thing is, I am back with a solo podcast, Selective Ignorance. I guess let me start by addressing some of the things in 2024, addressing some of the hoopla on the internet. So in terms of, see, the thing is, for those of you who care, I'm also not going to spend a lot of time on this. That was clearly done with a co-host who will and shall always be nameless moving forward. That is how I feel with that. In terms of the people saying that it was a failed show, I want to be very clear in my full intention to end the show. That decision was a decision made by myself in November. I no longer wanted that partnership. And I want to start off by expressing to you guys a bit of what success looks like to me. Now, success looks differently for everybody, right? We've all had jobs where we don't like our coworkers. We don't like our boss. We don't like the lay of the land. And so for me, I can go all the way back to when I worked retail. And when I say retail, y'all, I worked at Champs. I worked at Coach. I worked at Route 21. I think that is now bankrupt. I worked in the food industry. My first job was at Quiznos, okay? And then, of course, I worked in the clubs before I went into corporate. In every single job I had, hated somebody there. Was miserable, didn't want to go into work, but had to go for the paycheck. When it came to how I felt working on that podcast, even though it was something that I birthed, and I know for y'all parents, y'all can't just get rid of kids like that. However, I was able to literally walk away from that show, to me, with my head held high, and success to me at that moment was being able to walk away from something that didn't serve me. I wasn't happy over there. There wasn't a friendship anymore at all to hang on to. I was depleted. I was overworked, and it was something that I was fully giving 110% to in a partnership with a partner that gave 10% and only hit me up when she was waiting for the deposit. So there's nothing like busting your ass, crying on camera, having a partner that could actually take some of the load away from you and just sits there and watches you cry week in and week out because you're tired and depleted and coming in, booking guests and doing all the work. And so that show ending was my decision. She wanted to keep it going on Patreon. She wanted to keep working with me because she wanted to keep making money with me. I did not. So I want to make it very clear in terms of you guys thinking that the show failed. It meant so much to me in my 33 years of life that I wasn't a victim to the dollar, I guess, anymore. I wasn't a slave to the dollar. It was something that I could genuinely walk away from and woohoo, be free, may freedom ring. And so there's that. Secondly, I saw everyone's reaction to their thoughts on me and views on me when y'all thought we were ending horrible decisions. So it was really interesting last year to kind of have to relive that again. My mental health took a beating from the internet, baby. But I get it. I kind of, yes, quote unquote, signed up for this. I am loud. I'm opinionated. I may be brash. I know I hold different opinions than a lot of you, but that is the joy of the First Amendment, baby. Freedom of speech, which is why I'm back again. Again, I had a strong reaction at first to y'all's podfather, Joe Budden. I want to insert a clip here because this is some of the things he had to say when he also thought I was ending another very successful podcast. Insert the clip here.
Next week will be the final episode. Thank you for being a part of our story. 8 years.
They did it. They did it.
You got to clap it up.
That's
You
a
got to
great
clap it
run.
up. We can't be all the way haters. Sometimes you got to show a little bit of love. 8 years is a long time. Very innovative pod in the space. Mm-hmm. Some would say that they created the lane that would later be stolen by the Hawk Tuah girl and the Call Her Daddy crew. Mm-hmm. So hats off to both Mandy and Weezy for such a long run.
Successful tours.
Not many podcasts emulate that or have such a run. They've done tours. They fucking engraved themselves in the hearts of their fans. So they do have a disappointed fan base out there. So we want to acknowledge that because I think that did hit the black pod world. I want to say by surprise, but to some people maybe not because you bitches been hating each other for the last 6 years. It's a shock y'all lasted the final end of that run. But even that's to be commended, right? Like going to work, not really getting along the greatest with your co-host and still getting the job done because
the show must go on.
Yeah, the show must go on.
Professionalism by all costs, exactly.
Yeah, so I do want to tip my hat to those women, anxious to see what they have in store. What each one of I'm not. I'm lying. I don't care what either one of them do. I don't care what either one of them do from this point on. But hats off and salute.
So I'm new to this. I know I do a little bit of Googling and stuff, so I know there was some tension. Where are you with them in the sense of, like, are you at a stage where I just don't fuck with them, or are you at a stage where, like, I'm happy when things go bad for them?
And I don't think it's a them thing.
There are people I don't fuck with, but I'm indifferent. You know what I mean?
That's not the same thing.
You can be indifferent.
Listen, if I'm talking shit on a pod, it's probably performative. Like, I don't know either one of them well enough to carry on a grudge and all of that shit. Like, this is solely a business, performative type of thing. And just because people don't necessarily rock with me don't mean that it's vice versa.
How about you?
I'm going to celebrate anytime any pod ends it. It's not just about
everybody to fail but me.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. That wasn't a criticism.
The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Just said it. But yeah, I don't have any ill will toward either one of them. I see Mandy saying that stay tuned. She has great things on the horizon, and I love when people lie like that. Like, there's nothing great on the horizon.
That's great. Why would you say that?
Wow, because it's true.
You don't know that.
I know. I'm telling you. You gave the studio to Savon. Savon's running the studio now.
But it's still hers, right?
Moved to Atlanta. New York's expensive. I don't know. I'm not nobody's business. See, the thing ends. There's the fight there. Now this one ends. There's an ongoing joke online at any time a Mandy co-host getting a happy relationship, she ends the podcast. So I'm just enjoying the jokes. I'm enjoying the fodder, and I'm enjoying seeing podcasters have to stop for whatever reason. Because there's always 20 gabillion reasons to stop. And sometimes you just got to keep going.
How you feel, Mel?
This nigga's nasty, son.
No, how you feel about it? I'm seeing very expressive gesticulations.
Gesticulations.
I just wanted to.
Don't use that shit on me.
He's married.
Fuck you.
I got to catch them educated flirting. Don't use that word.
Ooh, big words.
Gesticulation.
Landed on gesticulation. Y'all stupid, man.
That's close to
Yeah, we so immature.
Children.
Gesticulation was close to what you gonna say?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyways, I mean, I'm a little indifferent. Little indifferent.
Can we play it back down?
Okay. I would like to know the tea. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to know the tea as to how they finally came to this, this decision, because he's right. The rumor is that they haven't been able to get along with each other for a very long time. So, and just to continuously show up, that's commendable, but I don't really like the tea.
And to be fair, they both have outside businesses and ventures.
Yeah,
that
They're gonna be fine.
Yo, man,
It's true. He has like 3 studios.
Yo, man, you a legend, man. Like, yo, when you don't want to shoot at
This
nobody.
is what's called diplomacy.
Teach him.
This
Teach
is
him.
what it looks
Teach him,
like.
big man.
I didn't graduate. So I don't have
Diplomats, nigga.
I didn't graduate. So I don't know what a diploma feels like. So, but what I'm saying is that the way you just get around shit is just, I'm just watching you, man. Like, Michael Jackson would be proud. You moonwalked your way right out of that shit. Ed bigged them up. Yeah, a lot of studio. when she's shooting at you, nigga, she's not holding back. We talking about Terminator. We talking about...
Why did they shoot at Mel? I don't know the story.
I don't know.
It's not they.
Oh, it's one
That's
person.
what you guys say.
Just Mandy.
Why does I don't know Mandy? So, but why?
Neither do I.
Oh, so it's not like a friendship that fell out.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
You think it's just hate?
Mel just fun
I mean,
to
it's
shoot at,
just
I guess.
it's just speculative.
Mandy masks it.
Man, you're not gonna
masks
use
it,
this, dude.
and I'm critiquing one of the pods that I listen to.
Yeah.
the concerned
in
fan
2010
approach.
when I didn't have a pod, but okay. It goes all the way back there.
Oh, wow. Okay, I understand now.
Let me not be immature for 2 seconds. And when I say 2 seconds, that's all I mean just 2 seconds. If I were either one of them, I'd have to. We would fight over this. We would fight over this. It's not going to be as simple as we're ending this brand, and that's that. Nope.
It was so successful.
No, sir. I would do the Alex Cooper and kick my co-host to the side and rebrand this thing.
But maybe that could be what the next chapter
The next
is.
chapter is.
Oh, then I'm not allowing my co-host to include that if I'm in the announcement, if I'm not included.
But why they
You ain't
can't...
gonna
Maybe one wants to leave.
Yeah, and maybe...
One is, like you said, they got, I don't know, but they could have other shit going.
Well, then
This could be time consuming. This could be, all right, you know what, I don't really want to do this no more. I want to go over here.
That's cool. But
You
then-
go ahead, I'm going to take the brand and
This
do
is back
this.
to the me and Ish argument from the last part. Then I'm questioning the value of whatever there is to fight over or not fight over. If one of y'all just going to easily walk away from it, either you are really, really noble or wasn't much value here.
Right.
Or it ain't worth it no more.
Yeah.
Some people could be like, yo, I'm done with this shit. Again, y'all said they haven't been fucking with each other for years. However long that could be.
Because I don't want us to be circular again here. One could be done with it and leave. If half of it is mine, then there's a fight to be had.
What's the fight? If y'all both came up with the decision, yeah.
Call your
Yeah.
lawyer, I'll call mine. But there are
probably did that,
conversations to
That
be
could've
had.
been-
They probably
that
did
could've
that,
been
and this could be the end of.
This could be where we got to.
Yeah,
Cool, let's dissolve this shit.
This could be the end of that.
Time will tell.
Is one person significantly more talented than the other?
I couldn't say.
Because I mean, some people might walk away like, "Look, this is a thing, but it's only a thing because of me."
They're
So I
both,
can
they're
walk.
both good. They're
Yeah.
both
Okay, I'm just. I really
they're
don't.
both
I haven't heard the
They're both
podcast.
equally
Okay,
trash.
you were doing so well. You were doing so well.
I don't know. 2 seconds.
You did a solid like 60 seconds.
I'm joking.
This is funny to me. And I want to be respectful on my response here. For anyone who questions my ability to create, my ability to be a mic, my ability to have a team, my ability to be that beach, I want to laugh because I am still the only woman who has worked in tandem with the kings of this space over here. The Joe Buddens, Charlemagne, which I'm still working with, which I have a book coming out June 24th, No Holds Barred. Decisions, still on the Black Effect Network. I've also produced Across Generations over with Wilt Packer and Wilt Packer Productions. And I've just worked with some of the biggest names in this industry. And so I'm just gonna, that's my laugh. That's my laugh. That's my response to Joe. That's my response to anybody who has wished failure on me, who has had anything negative to say about me. And here we are. Here we are. I am open to all criticism moving forward because y'all can't get rid of me. Anyways, this show, I'm going to get a lot of my shit off. Selective ignorance, right? Here to do it to kind of dig deep into all of our hypocrisies, all of the ways in which we like to have opinions but don't respect the opinions of others. And I'm really excited to just kind of bring discourse to the feed just a little bit, because that's what I like to do. I love to get under y'all skin, because it's really actually funny to me. Also, if you haven't noticed from the trailer or me responding, I am petty. I think I look up to 50 Cent. I love to be petty. It does. I am gonna be the petty beach that you love to hate, okay? But anyway, tune in weekly. I'm excited for this new show. And still black owned over here, clearly. I'm black, and I brought a dope team with me. So you guys will get me, again, no co-host, but I will be joined on Selective Ignorance with a ton of my friends. I will be responding to social events, to current events, to all the things, and respond to how the internet is receiving news and how they're responding to it. But I'm going to be doing that with some pretty dope guys. Look, they gonna make fun of this. They gonna be like, you can't get along with women, so you only brought men to work with? That's crazy. But I'm really excited. I do want to introduce you guys to my two producers, the foundation of this show with me in terms of how we're gonna be pushing through. And again, y'all are gonna get some solo episodes with me, so I wanna make sure that you guys are aware of the voices on the other side of the mic. Who we starting off with first with the introduction?
The A is for A King.
Okay, the A is for A King. What's up?
What up, what up, what up?
Can you believe we're doing this?
Yeah. Yo, if this shit don't work, this whole podcast industry is destroyed.
Period.
But it's gonna work because we here, we love you, Mandy. We see you part of our ecosystem too. So we root for you, we champion you, and Selective Ignorance is the vibe. 2025.
Now I do want to say too, for those of you who may not even know our relationship.
For sure.
So A King is a part of the Black Effect Network, but he is the pioneer. The pioneer of podcasting, as one of the hosts of the Combat Jack Show.
Co-founding member
of the Combat Jack Show. I also, y'all may not know, he is also one of the very beginning leaders, and never even know what your position was, but of Loudspeaker Network.
That's right.
And so if you guys know the history of me, Horrible Decisions, maybe a year and a half in, signed to Loudspeaker. Well,
Yep.
a lot of that had to do with A King. We used to record out of a studio called Cast Sound Lab in Brooklyn.
Shout out to Preach. Yes.
And Preach saw me and Wheezy record the very first episode of Horrible Decisions and was like, yo, these bitches is it.
Yep.
Called A King over to come, just listen to us. Didn't even know he was there. This was episode 3 of Horrible Decisions.
Yeah.
He came in and was like, y'all got something good. He was like, this is really good. This is great, actually. He said, I want to see if y'all continue, though, because most podcasts don't keep recording. So he said, let me see if y'all can make it, to episode 25 or something. It was something like...
And that, mind you, that was 8 years ago, right?
This was 8 years ago.
So think that conversation that happens today was happening then. It's so crazy, as you mentioned that.
So he goes and, of course, lets Chris Morrow and Charlemagne and them over at Loudspeaker know about us.
Yep.
And he literally would come in, pop into our recordings, and just see how we were still doing. He saw all the arguing in the background, but still was like, wait, these bitches still together? So ended up introducing us to Chris Morrow, Charlemagne. Yep. Charlemagne was like, okay, let me see if these bitches got it. The test was bringing us on Brilliant Idiots.
Brilliant Idiots, yep.
We went on Brilliant Idiots. Our listeners went from 15,000 a week, which, mind you, is crazy to be getting 15,000 a week as not celebrities, as none of that. We go on Brilliant Idiots, we shoot up to 40 like that.
Yep.
And we kept them. So a lot of the idiots became our audience, literally.
And for those at home that's watching and listening, she just gave y'all a gem. It's such a... I be in these meetings, and one of the prevalent ways of growing your pod is something that she just said that she did, and I'm gonna leave it there. That was a nugget.
I mean, audio focus only, which is why if you're listening to this, if you want to see the video, baby, patreon.com/Selective Ignorance. Full video will be available on Patreon. Yeah. But I've been in this game too long, and I understand audio, baby. So that's A King. A King is
Salute.
one of my producers alongside
Yeah.
Hey.
Jason. Can I say the last name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jason Rodriguez.
The God.
I'm a public figure.
Okay, so the God. Jason, can you run down a little bit of your resume?
Oh man, I need to hire somebody to do this for me.
That nigga.
Yeah, you know, I'm your friendly him. You know, like neighborhood him. Background in journalism, MTV News, XXL, Vibe, Vivo, Revolt. Spent the last few years in y'all background, in y'all
That's
backyard,
right,
doing
that's
audio.
right.
Did the Nas podcast over at Spotify, The Bridge, with Nas and Miss Info. Did 7 p.m. in Brooklyn
And
with
that's how we
Mello and
met.
Meryl. Yeah, and that's how we
Well,
met.
we've met at Breakfast Club. We've met in
But
other
you know,
rooms.
but we met through audio
Yes.
initially though, because I was in Atlanta at Revolt Festival and I ran into Drama.
Yes.
And Drama was like, "Yo, I need to talk to you about something." He called me the next day, and he wanted to talk about the Gangster Girls podcast.
Yes.
So he put me in touch with Weezy.
Weezy, yeah.
And then I was at Jim Jones listening.
Yep.
And I went up to her thinking she was Weezy. And she didn't embarrass me. She was real nice to me. And then, you know, we started talking and
Oh, I did see you at the Jim Jones.
yeah, you know, we had a
listening
nice
thing. Yeah.
conversation. I think I got a photo from it too, from like, you know, photographer snapping up.
It was
or
Jim and
whatever.
Mano's project, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Bobby
so
Boys.
then, but then I ended up working on Breakfast Club on BET. They had their TV project. I was the executive producer of that. Saw you again, started rapping with you a little bit. But then when we were doing 7 p.m. in Brooklyn,
Yep.
we had a episode with Will Smith and Martin. You were there, post show.
By the way,
that show
can I
was
just
crazy
say,
to
I
do.
love all this name dropping happening, like, because I be in these rooms.
Nah, yeah,
Facts.
but it's work though. It
is work,
Right.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
it's not name dropping. It's coworkers to me. I
Correct.
always say
Yeah.
it's like
Colleagues.
coworkers. It's colleagues.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll
Like,
tell you right now, Martin and Will are not my coworkers.
Yeah.
They are not my colleagues.
But for that
Them
2
niggas is
hour,
legends.
for that 2 hour period, they were my coworkers, right? Where I'm like, Will, I
correct.
need you to like sit down. And so, but you know, it was tough. And so afterwards, like we had drinks.
We chopped it up.
We had, you know, shout out to Mello, his
Yes.
Seven Estate, his
Yes,
wine.
his
And
wine
we had
estate, we
drinks,
stayed.
and
it was dope.
And it was easier because I had other people reading my resume and my background. So, because we were having drinks, it was like Hanif
Oh
in
yeah, I'm not
school.
gonna lie. All I know is they knew me at the table, but then the way they just like was bowing down to Jason, I said, "Oh,
Uncomfortable.
you really him? You really him?" And so pretty
One of the
much
last of
we
the Mohicans.
well also so Jason is like the other you. Whenever I want to geek out about podcast stuff, I call y'all and we're just on the phone talking about industry shit for hours.
Yep.
And so when it came about doing this podcast, I initially wanted to do a co-host. And I said, bitch, did you not learn from the last? Bitch, what is wrong with you? So I, of course, thought I was going to go about it the Joe route where I just put niggas on 1099s and pay their ass to sit next to me and talk.
Allegedly?
Listen.
Allegedly.
I'm just asking
Allegedly.
if it, I don't know nobody's
No, we know
business.
he don't split equity with nobody, goddamn.
Oh, I don't know.
Listen, I know what contract he gave me.
Oh.
And it wasn't a partnership agreement, okay? And so when I was like, yo, I really want to do another pod. I really miss talking about anything but sex and dating. I really want to get back onto the microphone and share more of my opinions and have these bold conversations. I was like, yo, I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to invite my friends. I'm going to invite my peers. But this time I really want to have a team to help me execute the production side, the structure, the outline, because y'all know I'm an outline whore. And so I brought in two of the guys that I know best to do it.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, gang.
I like your outlining. That's actually what drew me to you. When she did that live video, you was I guess she was giving who she shouldn't be
Here we
named.
go.
Bro,
Here we
I
go.
don't know how
You were
she-
giving her a read, but
But
it was
I
so
had-
organized. She was like turning
Okay,
pages.
okay. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Did you see? No.
I was like, yo, I like this.
I seen her. She's nasty work in a good way when it comes to Excel spreadsheets
Yeah.
and. I think that might.
I was sending
do
it
you
next year.
attribute that
So
to
when,
your
we,
professional?
so when we sat down that first time, that's what I brought up to her.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that read you did, and I don't think she wanted me talking about that. But I was like, yo,
So
I was like,
here's
yo,
the
it was so
thing.
organized and so professional.
Well, let me
like-
share this too real quick. I ain't even gonna hold you. Every last one of my friends, A King probably included, nobody wanted me to go on live and
Yeah.
respond. Nobody wanted me to respond because they was like, you are gonna sound like a bully.
Right.
Bitch, the Florida is gonna come out and you is gonna sound like a nasty ass bitch. Like, because it was gonna give all types of pussy ass
Right.
hoe. It was gonna give all types of, oh bitch, let me. And then I you go low, I go lower.
Right.
That is what you guys will learn over here too. If you go low, I will take it to hell. And so I felt attacked professionally. I felt my character was attacked. And so the way in which I initially responded to my friends, they were like, do not respond, you will look really bad. And so the only way I was able to respond and get my story out, they said, bitch, you have to do a bullet point and have your talking points before you go on. And to me, to make sure I kept it from going personal and taking the personal blows and shots, I'm like, bro, business-wise, bro, you was still against the business. I was seeing in the account, you was at Target and buying flights on the business. And I'm like, yo, can you pay that back? Like, I put $14,000 of my own money to keep us afloat when we left Joe and had to pay myself back once we got a deal. I hired everybody. I trained everybody. Nothing was brought in by her. So when I saw that from just to be violated professionally, I'm like, bro, for 2 years, I carried. Bitch carried.
On her back.
And so I was hurt. Like, and normally I don't. The internet says a lot of things. Bitch, I will admit right now, because I am sensitive. Actually, I'm sensitive about my shit. I was hurt by that.
Yeah.
Like, say I'm loud, say I'm this, say I'm that, but to come at how I operate professionally and then to act like the people here at my studio, like I took that very personally. But yeah, I guess.
So going through all of what you've gone through, the successes, the highs and lows, what is your inspiration for doing yet another podcast?
I'm not gonna hold you, bitch. I like talking. That's really okay. So not only do I like talking, which is clear, I really love creating things.
Right.
If you're listening to this as a woman, right? And I know everybody who leans into the patriarchy about to hate this answer. These are my kids. I don't want children. I'm a 34-year-old millennial that does not want marriage or children. And so to me, where I find my legacy and the things I want to build or the things I want to leave behind, right, is this. Like, this shit makes me excited. I went to college. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. I thought I was going to be a CPA with my own tax firm. I worked at Goldman Sachs. I worked at EY. I've given 70 hours a week to other people for the first 20, I would say 15 years of my life. From 15 to 29, I've been working. And so to me, I have the privilege of getting paid to be me. I have the privilege of touching people's lives by saying things that they can't say, by sharing my story and impacting the way that they may show up at work or in relationship or inspire them to start their own things. And to me, see, the thing was supposed to be an extension that I thought I was going to be able to have for the next 10 years. And so when that ended, immediately I wanted something new. Period Sis is still my passion project. I feel like Period Sis is the reason my friend is still alive. Horrible Decisions is 8 years strong. And again, the business that I built that allowed me to leave something that wasn't fulfilling. But baby, this is something I want to do. Like, we've been on the phone for hours. I've talked to you and I'm just excited to do it. So
love that.
I like creating Black businesses, hun. Which y'all will see. We're gonna get into that in a little bit too. But this show, I want to lean into the fact that I'm not perfect, that I'm not always right, and that I'm loud and wrong. But when I'm wrong, I will admit I'm wrong. I will dial it back. But also, I don't think many of us hold ourselves accountable, right? So a part of me doing this is also to maybe normalize the word hypocrite. Can we just lean into the fact that we are all hypocrites? Can we lean into the fact that we choose to be ignorant? Like, when we talk about ignorance, especially with the phone, right? With the access to the internet, first off, Twitter becoming a source is crazy. That is crazy with this new shit. But for me, it's like, all of the information is now at our fingertips, and for whatever reason, motherfuckers choose not to educate themselves. Motherfuckers choose to stand in their ignorance more than choosing to educate themselves. And so for this pod, y'all gonna see I kind of do the same, goddammit. And I wanted to bring in my friends, my peers, the people that I respect, because what I love is that I've been able to hold so many actually thought-provoking conversations full of discourse but respect. And I think we've lost that. I think as soon as someone disagrees with you, you start talking about they weight, they mama, they like it's just a whole bunch of bullshit. And so I wanted to lean in to how we could have, what's the word? Fun discourse?
Discourse, yeah.
But fun discourse.
Yeah. Hot takes.
Hot takes.
Humor.
And mess.
Yeah.
And mess.
Unserious seriousness.
There we go. So yeah, a whole bunch of unserious seriousness around here. But you know what? I kind of got my little shit off, I think, for the most part. But I do want to address any more elephants in the room because y'all, selective ignorance, this is the only time y'all gonna really hear me talk about this before we get into the mess. But elephant in the room, is there anything that y'all think the internet gonna be like, ooh, she stayed away from, ooh, she didn't want to answer this?
Why
or
are you such
that
a
you just think
hater?
people want to know?
Why are you such a hater? That's what they want to know.
They want to know why I'm
But
such
they
a
want
hater.
to say it like that. You see my eyes? Why are you such a hater?
You know
Hating
what's-
ass.
Why are you such a hater?
You know
man?
what's crazy about that? I will say for the people that know me in this space, I have shared every single bit of my resources. When I opened the studio, let niggas record out of here, gave people extra time. If I have someone that cuts clips, you need a clip editor, here you go. You need someone to edit your podcast, here you go. You need a resource. You want to know how much I got paid? Here's the answer. I don't know why I get called a hater. I really don't. I've done nothing but really actually want everyone to succeed in this space. I actually do believe that there's enough money for all of us. And yeah,
Not
I don't
everybody
know.
thinks that.
No, I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I'm petty.
Yeah.
I'm petty, and I might give some podcast tips because there's niggas out here that are launching pods and doing seasons, and where I'm just like,
I've
what you
seen
doing
that,
over here?
yeah.
What is that really gonna do? Sorry.
But you know what?
This isn't be a petty again. But
I'm
I'm not
saying,
a hater. I just want people to be better.
Yeah. But I'll say you are petty, but you listen to a lot of podcasts.
I love and that's the
Yeah.
thing too. I am a consumer as well.
Yeah.
So as a consumer, I have thoughts. As someone in this podcast space who knows the back end of it and the front end of it, I, question some decisions being made. And it's crazy because I'm able to critique movies. Oh, don't nobody say shit
Right.
when I say a movie is ass. Or when I say the little Asian on the screen. When I talk about any other thing, I talk about white mess all the time. If you go down my timeline, I shit on the Real Housewives all the time. I even interviewed Robin from Potomac and was like, girl, we had to give you a fake time because I see you be late. And I can laugh and joke with people, right? But people only call me a hater when I critique in the industry that I'm in, which is crazy. Because I also help everyone around me.
I was just in my head, I'm like, I'm trying to look for the flaw, right? In terms of what people, the perception. And the one thing that plays in my mind a lot is you've helped so many people. You're very inviting and welcoming, and if somebody hits you up, say, yo, I need to get in contact, whatever, you relinquish that. Whereas that's not something that's normal in this industry.
No, it's not. They gatekeep
and not just podcasting. I'm talking about just black urban culture.
Black people.
We don't help each other enough.
We do
and
not.
I've seen in the 8 years of the decisions. Well, now decision has been here. You've helped mad. Your tree of life in this space is crazy, and that's why I always measure people. Like, who have you helped? Like, we hear these people all the time talking, and it's like, okay, it's cool to be self-servant, but help somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I don't necessarily care for the back. I think mainly they come at you because you're accessible too.
What you mean accessible? Oh, because I be
on
responding?
Twitter,
Yeah, you go back and
Twitter,
forth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in our culture, as long as we get an opportunity to chime in, we gonna chime in. Twitter,
And I ain't gonna lie, I invite
IG
that.
Live.
I invite that.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna respond, and I'm gonna talk about your mama in return. So
Yeah. You're a normal host. Hosts have like a certain DNA.
Yes.
You're. It's funny. Anything I say, I feel like if this goes wrong in torpedoes, like people could just play this back 2 years from now and be like,
We here
"Yo,
now,
see?
brother."
See, look, it happened again. But like the distance between like who you are behind the microphone and who you are off the microphone is incredibly small.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a
Yeah.
lot of hosts, at least from my experience working with hosts,
Yeah.
it's not always that way.
What do you mean
There's sort of like you walk down steps when you're off the mic and you're somebody different. Like there's a further difference
Oh,
between
no.
your
I'm
real
very
person
different.
and
This
mic.
is the character, y'all.
Yeah.
Do not listen to him. This is all an act.
But my experience, but like when I'm talking to, like
No.
whether we're talking about like other podcasts or media or whatever, or like, you know, just like dating or whatever, it's not that different. Hence, like you're always saying, like, yo, we're podding. Because
Yeah.
your conversations, that bridge is short. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think for other hosts, it's not that. And then like to A King's point, you're accessible. Like you walk the streets. Like I remember one time, like when we had lunch together, I was like, oh, is she gonna be taking the train? Is she going to like take like what is she gonna do? Like is she gonna? Because I know some hosts is like, oh, I got to take a train because it is, and it's not
Yeah.
like on some like people are gonna mob me or whatever. It's just sometimes I just want to be normal. But I'm like, all right, she's gonna take the train back. Like she should be all right. Or
we've seen that too, where Mandy just be out,
I just
whatever.
be outside.
And
Y'all
people
want
like,
some
yo,
pickleback
what's
shots?
up, Mandy? Y'all? and she's so inviting. That's why I'm like, yo, what's all this hate? I'm like, you know,
Nah,
what?
people think I'm a villain, and I ain't gonna hold you. I like to.
You're very
lean
transparent,
in,
too.
But I also just, if I have to lean into it, sure. I think when I think of the people that I've looked up to, like a Charlemagne, like even still a Joe, a Wendy Williams, even a Joe Rogan, right? If you look at all the biggest people in this space, they're the villain.
Yeah.
Bitch, Beyonce was the villain at one point, okay? Let's be very
Yeah.
clear.
Facts.
But yeah, so there's that. Do we have anything else? I acknowledge, see the thing
What else
is,
is this?
decisions,
you're
still
only
going
hosting
strong.
by yourself because when your other co-hosts get successful, you get uncomfortable with
Don't
that.
do that. Don't do that. That's crazy.
That's not me.
No,
That's not me.
I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell y'all.
I just saw an elephant walk by.
Let
and
me let me tell you how that was probably one of the most. Again, another hurtful thing I saw. So the narrative when y'all thought this horrible decisions was ending, I saw the narrative that when Mandy's co-hosts get in really good relationships, when they're happy in their relationships, Mandy just wants to end it. I want you guys to sit with that. See, the thing is, had a 7-figure deal. I will go ahead and tell y'all the number because I share numbers. We had a $1.02 million deal for 2 years. That was our deal. Paid monthly to us.
Talk to me nice.
Okay? Was it year 1, year 2? We were seeing $40,000 a month. Paid out over time, and then had a whole nother year on contract. Me and Weezy have a 7-figure podcast a year.
Oh, I'm about to say
No.
that. I'm like,
There's a lot.
I'm like,
No.
remix.
I will be very clear in letting y'all know, Horrible Decisions has 5 streams of income.
Woo.
Yeah.
5.
Woo.
Black Effect, Patreon,
Boom.
touring
Wow.
with WME Live Nation, our book now with Simon & Schuster and Black Privilege Publishing,
Talk about
and
it.
merchandise. We have 5 different streams of income over there, and I will tell you guys, we make 7 figures a year with that podcast.
Got the same 24
There
hours.
is nothing in this world that could be further from the truth that would make me want to walk away from $250,000 to $500,000
Shit.
You gonna make it work.
because a bitch is having sex in her house.
Crazy.
Like, you're coming. Good for you. A man made you happy. Allegedly. Good for you. You know what I mean? Like, let's be very clear. So that was a disgusting take by the internet. And what's even crazier about that is I was at my friend's wedding last year. Shout out to my friend Britt. She's married. I hang out with her husband, and her kids. I have friends that I want a man to make happy.
Right.
These niggas, it'd be tough to find one, but I am here for all of my friends to find love and happiness.
Right.
It is disgusting that y'all think I am so miserable that I would walk away from $250,000 to $500,000 plus over a bitch finding a nickel.
Well, it's theater of the mind too. It's the when you put out content, you're doing videos. A lot of these people, and I'm guys, girls, even right. They fantasize how they would be if they were with you. That's how I look
Not
at it.
fantasize.
In business, in intimacy, in all of these aspects, and they're just projecting.
Say what that thing
You know,
smell like.
Yo,
Right. You know what I mean?
yeah, you gotta chill. You gotta chill.
I can say that I'm married. I can
You
say that
can, you
stuff.
can.
Like, think about it. For all the dudes who watching, I know this for a fact. Do you know you probably run amok in niggas group chats?
No,
Right?
but-
So when they say things they're only responding to how they would be if they were present in your world.
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, right? And y'all will see, I like to just blame the patriarchy for a lot of things. There are a lot of people that don't find me attractive. So, as a woman, we're supposed to just sit down, be quiet, and look pretty anyways. So they don't think I'm attractive, but I am also very loud and opinionated, or come across as masculine or very dominant. I get that. That's fine. Think what you want. But I think that that's where maybe some of the male audience feels away. Also,
But they fuck with you.
well, no, a lot of the male audience too, the ones that don't like me, want to suck Joe's dick from the back. I ain't even gonna hold you.
man.
It don't make sense. Like, they just want to suck Joe's dick from the back. Joe don't give a fuck about them. So because they think that there really is this turmoil between he and I, that's what it is. Joe, if I'm in a room, me and Joe gonna talk.
Right.
And when I go to walk away, Joe gonna be like, don't leave me. Joe like talking to me, bro. Let's hi Joe. He does. And so that's just what it is. Nonetheless, I'm excited to be bringing these very real, raw, honest, unserious, serious-ass conversations back to the microphone every week. And I guess I wanted to start this off, too, because I have talked about having a Black-owned business, being a studio owner. Shout out to my compadre, my friend, someone that I know was looking for a studio when I was ready to walk away from this space, Savon. I'm shooting this out of the Need to Know Studios in Brooklyn. And so with this move to Atlanta, it's been very interesting because I've had a lot of talks with Cannon. Shout out to Cannon, Isaac Hayes, Ray Daniels. And that's another thing people don't know. I actually went to high school in Atlanta. So I've known Cannon since I was fucking 18, 19. Shout out to Meezy over at Slaughter Gang. And a lot of the people that I know in Atlanta, I've got to see come up. I get to see them creating their own businesses, their own wealth. And it's amazing because before moving to Atlanta, that's all they kept talking about was the Black wealth and how in no other city in America can you go and really be in a place that allows Black people to flourish in the way that people in Atlanta have been able to do. So I wanted to get into a story time for this first episode. Because though I pride myself in supporting and creating Black businesses, hiring Black creatives, giving Black creatives the opportunity, I have a love-hate relationship with doing so because these niggas be pissing me off. And so this is where I want to lead into a bit of the hypocrisy, but also bring you guys, the listeners, into questioning your own experiences and what we can do to make this better. So, boom, story time. And this is what y'all get probably out of my solo episodes. Feel free to jump in, ask questions, but here we go. So y'all, I'm leaving New York City. And I'm like, shit, I am leaving everything. The only thing that I'm bringing from New York City to Atlanta with me are my clothes. Let me also tell you why I moved to Atlanta. There are professional opportunities that y'all will hear coming soon. But the other reason was because I wanted a closet. It is that simple. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment paying $4,100 a month. Oh, yes.
Woo,
I share real numbers here, okay?
Ouch.
And so they built a building and blocked my view. So when they were doing that, I said, damn, I ain't gonna stay here. Let me look up other apartments. I was like, well, if I want a closet, I need a 2-bedroom. This is telling y'all a little bit about what the real estate currently looks like in New York. I knew I wanted Greenpoint or Long Island City. Look it up. It's not Long Island, all right? So
Queens get the money.
I wanted Queens get the money bills, y'all. And so wanted to live in those 2 neighborhoods. I could not get a 2-bedroom for under $5,300 with what I wanted. So I said, okay, let me spend a little bit of time in Atlanta. Let me see what it looked like. When I tell you, shout out to everyone that knows me, open arms, opportunity. They said, if you come here, we're gonna work. And I wasn't getting that same response really in New York. Right. And so I was like, you know what? It's time to pivot professionally, but also it's cheaper down here. So I hire Piece of Cake Moving. Now, let me tell you, their role was to bring all of my items. It was really like a TV, clothes, and shoes. That's it. Left all my furniture, was going to buy all new furniture in Atlanta. So they get my stuff. I get my quote. These guys come and start packing up the truck to go from New York City to Atlanta. 2 guys from Georgia, not the state. Georgia, not the state. I don't know where the fuck Georgia is on the map, but it's somewhere over there in the Europe part. They was white. They was giving palm, you know. When I tell you, the kindest people ever, one of them ain't even speak no English. I ain't even know the accent, because again, where the fuck is Georgia? So nice, so kind, cool. So they pack up my stuff. I tip them heavy, because them niggas, you want anything else? And they wasn't even niggas. Let me stop calling them that, because they was the whites. So they're packing up my stuff. They're moving everything out real quick, real efficient, with a smile. I said, this is the energy I need, because I'm fucking depressed. I'm leaving the best city in the world that I've lived in for 13 years. Fuck. So I get to Atlanta. First thing I do, take my ass up to Gwinnett. If y'all know, it's like Furniture Row. And I take my ass up to the furniture stores to start getting my bed. That is another thing. Y'all are gonna laugh at me. But I moved to Atlanta. The other thing that I really wanted, that I was so happy for, a king motherfucking bed. Y'all, living in New York, it is a luxury to not only have a closet, a washer and dryer, even an elevator in your building, but a room that fits a king bed. And I didn't want to buy a king bed in my 1-bedroom, because I'm like, what if I find a 2-bedroom and I can't get it because my bed don't fit? So I was like, I'm moving and I can get a king bed. Yes, shout out to anyone from Decisions that realizes I was having threesomes in a queen bed. Yes, and sleepovers.
That's a lot of mess.
It was
That's a lot of mess.
It was hot. That's what it was.
Sticky.
We were sleeping on top of the covers, because that was a lot of body heat on a queen bed. Anyways, so I moved to Atlanta. I go straight to the furniture stores. I get my couch. I get a shelf. I get my bed frame. Mind you, I'm like, I got money. Ladies, we know. What is our dream bed? I know you're saying it in your head right now. Every woman wants a canopy bed growing up. The canopy bed is just like what we all want as women growing up. So I'm like, I'm gonna get a canopy bed. Then I'm like, not only am I getting a king mattress, give me one with a remote, bitch. I want a remote. I want to be able to zzz. Y'all, I can sit up in my bed, my mattress move. So anyways.
Her bed got struts.
Bro, my bed got to be plugged in. I feel real rich, okay? So anyways, so I get my things from 2 different furniture stores. Yeah. I don't know if y'all know now, furniture stores no longer have deliverers. I guess they don't want to deal with the insurance policies. So in Georgia, in Atlanta, they had a list of just movers that they use, third-party movers. So they give me their number 1 guy, Sam. So Sam, I get on a call with him. I let him know what I have. Let him know that I have stairs. So he's going to have to move the things up some stairs. And he's like, okay, gives me a quote. I make sure he has another guy, because you're going to need another guy for this move. Great. Sam says, I got it. Sam picks up my furniture and lets me know he will be to my house in an hour. So I'm leaving Target to be to my house, y'all. And this is where it begins. Mind you, Sam has an accent. Sam is my people. Sam is Jamaican. And this is where we get into it.
Good boy.
So I send him the receipts to pick up my things. He has this truck. He's telling me he's on his way. He will meet me at my apartment at 6 p.m. Y'all, I'm at my house at 5:50. I call to let him know I'm home, straight to voicemail. I call him again, straight to voicemail. Hit him again, straight to voicemail. At this point, it is now 6:30, 30 minutes past the time he was supposed to be at my house. And in my head...
Where's your panic meter at that?
I ain't gonna hold you. I was already just like, he stole my $6,000 worth of furniture. Ooh. I'm already thinking, mind you, it's my mattress, it's my frame, it's one of the couches in my living room. And my dumb ass bought a $1,500 Betty Boop statue. So I'm just like, I'm only paying him $300 for delivery. That nigga about to go sell my furniture and get off on my shit. I'm just thinking, Atlanta gon' Atlanta, okay? He doesn't answer. So baby, I'm not gonna hold you. Me and my friend just go stand outside and hope to see a truck. So Sam finally pulls up. Hey, yo, there's no parking? I said, nah. It's fucking nighttime. It's 7 o'clock. It's now 7:15. He's over an hour late. And I said, yo, man, I thought you took my furniture. I also tell him I called him multiple times. You're not calling me.
What you deal with?
You're not calling my phone right here. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, nah, I called you. He's like, nah, you're not calling me.
He had an Android. I'm pretty sure.
Listen.
WhatsApp. Go ahead.
So he parks on the sidewalk. I'm like, yo, you're not going to get no ticket. He parks on the sidewalk or whatever. And he goes upstairs to look at what he has to move in. I'm not going to lie to y'all. From the moment he stepped in.
Oh, you chupsing.
The motherfucker just starts sucking his teeth. And he's like, and he looks angry. Mind you, you're a fucking mover. You're moving goddamn furniture into a house. And he's looking upstairs.
That's what
He's looking around and he said, yo, man, this a hard move. It's a hard move, Nick. But you got someone to help you, right?
You here.
Mind you, he pulled up with somebody. So he's like, hey, yo, man, this might be a lot more than you know. I said, yo, whatever it is, I'll pay extra, whatever. Because he's just looking around, sucking his teeth. So he go back to the truck and is sitting in the truck. I'm like, are y'all going to start moving my shit in? You're already an hour and a half late.
He was cussing
No.
the situation.
You ready? He was waiting for his business partner to come. So I'm like, well, where is he? So he goes to call him on the phone. Mind you, got him on speakerphone. And it's like, yo, man, where you at? We're at the house. Da, 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 da. And y'all, my accent sucks. It does. Shut up.
Keep going. We'll
He's
get to
like,
that.
yo, man, where you at? He like, so the guy's like, I'm at the furniture store. Man, this where me knew where you was. Da, 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 da. He's like, no, I'm at the house. Mind you, this is 35 minutes from my house. So him and another guy are sitting in the car. And I'm like, well, I didn't know you had someone else. Y'all could start, right? Do you know what he says? Nah, man, I'm the driver. Me not do this. I hire people to do this. Me not move nothing in.
Ooh.
What? So
And
now
complaining.
you're an hour and a half late.
This is gonna be a hard job.
And you done already complained. So wait. So they start bringing up the small pieces. Y'all, no lie. He walks into my house and starts looking around. You know this hard. You got some Hennessy? You got a drink for me?
No.
I swear
Cap, I don't believe that.
I swear to God. Yo, man, you got some Hennessy? I said, nigga, I just moved into my house.
You have drink?
No, I don't
You
got
have
no
drink?
motherfucking Hennessy for you. Mind you, I am paying you to do this. So I'm like, no, I don't have no Hennessy for you. Like, the fuck? He's like, oh, I said, I have some water. All right, man, me take that.
So he had an attitude, too.
He had a fucking attitude after I didn't have Hennessy for his ass. It wasn't a part of the bill. I didn't know I had to have Hennessy. So anyways, mind you, it is now 2 hours. The other guy finally comes. So the other guy finally comes. He brings him in. He's huffing and puffing. I am upset because I'm hearing them just complain to each other right now. So me and my friend are sitting now, crisscross applesauce on the one little sectional I got in my house. Nothing else is in my house. Do you know what they have the nerve to ask me and my friend? Hey, yo, y'all got muscles? We might need your help.
Oh, man.
You're strong back. Sherelle,
You're strong?
Sherelle, you're
Y'all
strong.
got muscles, right? We looked and was like, nah, nigga, we ain't got no muscles. That's why I'm paying you.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
So mind you, the other guy comes and I'm like, damn, okay, I don't have any food for y'all. Y'all don't. This is me being nice. I know this is me being nice.
You stressing about food?
No, so now they're like getting hungry and they complain. I'm like, okay,
They
I'm
got
gonna order y'all.
riders.
I'm gonna order y'all some
they
pizza.
got riders.
I'm gonna
They
get
got
y'all some
riders.
food. Cause mind you, by this point, then they're having to bring the furniture up the stairs. They're having to put it together.
You said you're gonna get them. You said you was gonna get them food.
So I said, okay, I'll get y'all some food. I ain't got the Hennessy you want, but I'm gonna get y'all some food.
You gonna get them Jamaican
so
food
at
from
this
Atlanta?
point, there are three of them. There are three men sucking their teeth, complaining as they bring in every bit of my furniture. Now, y'all have a spiral staircase. For whatever reason, the three of
I would
them.
suck my teeth too.
That's really so the spiral steps is why
I don't give
he
a
made
fuck.
the assessment and said this is a hard job.
I don't
And nothing
give a-
else. He saw that and that's the hard job.
I don't give a fuck.
And he's the driver. And
I
he
don't
knew
give a
that.
fuck. Y'all should have seen, at one point, they thought they were going, mind you, have like fucking, 30, 40 foot ceilings? You've been to my house, King.
Yep.
At one point, they thought they were going to just throw a king-size mattress up a floor over
They
a
need that-
railing.
that
And I'm
Hennessy was their
what?
spinach. They
Mind
would've
you,
had that.
mind you,
Boom.
so here I go. They're like, yo, man, we're not going to be able to do this without another set of hands. I just moved in.
Is he calling you man the whole time?
Man.
Woman.
Yo, man.
You could have said woman.
Man. Me not know. So I go and knock on my neighbor's door. Hey, you're a big, strong guy. Can you come and help? They need help moving my mattress up the stairs. Cool. He comes in. They pretty much have him doing all the work, and I feel so bad. Wow. He is now pulling the mattress while literally me and my friend are like, yo, push it. Like, we're having to instruct them. These guys are just the laziest sons of motherfuckers
They
ever.
really want to just
No,
offload the shit and that was it.
Y'all,
Yeah.
like, it was a bed, a frame, and a chair, and a fucking Betty Boop statue. 4 items, that's it. Anyways, they get it upstairs. They do not even thank my neighbor who comes and helps. Mind you, by this point, now they have to put the bed together.
Me not have tools.
Listen.
Cheryl, you have a screwdriver?
So at this point, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, hey, yo, this is stressing me out. I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna go to the bar next door. I'm gonna get a drink, and I'm gonna order y'all some pizza.
Yo.
So we gone. I get a drink because I'm like, this is stressing me out. I order some pizza. I come back. I let them know, hey guys, pizza's down here. Cause nigga, I go upstairs. Mind you, I was gone for at least 40 minutes. Mattress still on the floor. They didn't even have the frame built.
Damn.
So I said, hey guys, food is downstairs. Mind you, the whole time I'm just like, I just want my shit put together. So I'm being real nice. Can't get you the Hennessy, but I got y'all some food. So I tell them, hey guys, they're like, all right. We want to finish the job first. We'll eat. Cool. The guy that came last comes downstairs and is looking for a screw. He loses the screw that apparently needs to be in the bed to put the frame in to make. Mind you, I'm a woman. I'm all here for, it'll be fine without a screw. I don't believe you need all screws for everything. It'll still be just fine. Apparently, no, this was a screw that was needed. He put it somewhere. He's asking me and the girl if we done seen a screw. And I said,
haven't seen a screw?
We ain't even been here. We haven't even been here. We didn't touch a screw. So he's lifting up boxes, sucking teeth again. Like, we done moved this goddamn screw. And we did it. He finds the screw, takes them probably another 35 minutes, three of them, to put together a goddamn bed. They come downstairs, pizza's there. I ordered 2 pizzas. 3, I'm lying. Pepperoni, I think a meat lover, and then cheese. Because I'm like, I don't know if niggas eat pork, but I forgot. I only feel like that because I've been in New York for 13 years.
Correct.
In the South, baby, they eat the swine.
Yeah, the whole pig.
They want the swine all the time.
Right.
So get them the food. Mind you, so the guy that comes down last, I've been having a problem with Sam. Sam, the main guy.
The driver.
The driver.
The driver.
So the guy who loses the screw, the guy who went to the furniture place instead of coming to my house, the guy who showed up last, the guy who barely lifted the mattress when I brought my neighbor to help, goes to the box, puts a piece of pizza on his plate, eats it. Mind you, this is while there's water bottles, pizza. Baby, I got the Parmesan, I got the garlic powder, I got the crushed red pepper laid out for him. He says, takes a bite, he says, yo, man, the piece of coal.
Oh, shit.
My nigga.
Yo, audacity.
Bro.
Oh, man.
Mind you, y'all, it is about 9, almost 10 o'clock at night right now. My whole night is taken. Mind you, y'all have 4 items to move in. This should have been done at about 7:30. It's almost 10 o'clock at night.
Y'all getting
Y'all done
food.
asked for liquor. I done fed y'all. And this is where Sam had to step in. Because when I tell y'all, I snapped. This is where I snapped, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I snapped. I said, well, then don't motherfucking eat the pizza then.
Yeah.
You don't need, Oh, when I tell you my friend had to calm me down, because I was like,
Yeah.
you have some fucking nerve.
Yeah.
I said the nerve, the audacity, because if it's one thing a motherfucker gonna have, it's the audacity. The pizza is cold.
Wow.
I said, well, nigga, starve. Do not eat it.
You
I promise
rascal.
you don't have to eat it. And when I tell you I snapped so bad,
Yo.
Sam had to step in, and Sam I done already looked at him disgusted the whole time, because he ain't been doing nothing but sucking his teeth, talking about this a hard job, man, this a hard job. You're a fucking mover. So Sam is like, yo, man, me not know where some people, how they raised, you know, man?
Oh, God.
So now you don't know how niggas is raised. Nigga, I don't know how
How you was
niggas
raised, right?
Mind you, he takes me upstairs. I already had a number in my head that I was going to pay them over. He only asked for an extra $50. I ended up over tipping, gave him another.
Why? Excuse me. Why you have?
Okay.
Why did he request that?
No shit.
On top of the food,
Because he
and
said it was a hard job.
but
He just wanted something.
He wanted something
He
for...
just wanted something. Just
He
let me
wanted
hold
something
something.
more,
but
mind
when
you.
you move, all of those possibilities
Hold
you're
on,
subjected to, right?
I forgot to even say, you remember when I said he didn't get no missed calls? He ain't answered?
Yeah.
Well, when he called his friend, mind you, he looked at me nasty like, nah, man, you not call my phone. Me not miss no calls. Me not have no missed calls. Nigga, his phone was on airplane mode. So it is on airplane mode. So that's why the other mover couldn't get in touch with him either. So he laughed. It was like, haha, my phone was on airplane mode, man. Bruh.
Did you sell?
Bruh. So, anywho, this experience happens, and I'm just like, bruh, why it gotta be my own people? Because mind you, the Piece of Cake Moving Company, the movers that actually moved my furniture in, 2 Russian men. The kindest of them all. I don't even know where in Russia they from, but they wasn't Russian, if you get what I mean. They wasn't Russian to move my shit in. They said, just let us know what needs to go upstairs. Y'all, they carried every box that needed to go up that
They ain't
spiral
asked you
staircase.
for no whiskey.
They didn't ask me
Vodka.
for they.
No.
I even offered water, and they
No
said, "No, we good."
baklava. What's
Yeah.
that? What's the little
Oh, yeah,
chocolate
the
joint? They didn't
Specca.
ask you for none of
They
that
didn't ask
shit.
me for
No
for no
Specca.
Kettle One.
No Kettle One.
They didn't ask me for no Grey Goose. They didn't ask me for nothing.
Right.
Mind you, upstairs, and y'all hauled boxes and boxes and mad heavy shit up the stairs for
Yep.
me with a smile. And that experience was like, bro, I really be trying to put money in the pockets of our people. I want to support Black businesses. And a part of me sat and was upset that I was like, bro, this is why and like I had to catch myself, because I was like, bro, I said I never want to hire a Black person again. And I had to fucking check that in myself. But then I was like, what's crazy about this is, in a way, and I don't want to even bring up reparations, but the way we treat our own people, it's the entitlement that, well, I'm doing this. You better be lucky I'm doing it, almost. Like,
Yeah.
we don't even serve our own people in a way that we want to be treated by others. There's an entitlement there.
Yeah.
There's a laziness there. And what's upsetting is we've created the own stereotype about our own people in a way that, here's my example. We've allowed our need for oxtail to be given to us, and to only even appreciate it when it comes from a woman with attitude. We literally have joked about oxtail and the food from a Jamaican restaurant not even being as good unless it come with a side of attitude. And
You gotta feel that pain. Good food comes from the pain
Well,
and
it
the
was
struggle.
lack of gravy induced. But go
bro,
ahead.
yeah, or like that you can't even ask for extra gravy. That you can't ask to take out something. Like, it's a restaurant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or we go into Black-owned establishments and are supposed to extend all the grace in the world for bad service or for slow service because, well, they're Black. Like, but still, let's support. And I've had this back and forth thing, because even coming from BLM and seeing how many people poured into Black businesses, there's also still the entitlement that we have to show up as a community and support a Black business that isn't offering us the same type of service or the same quality of business as a white establishment. And this is a difficult conversation to have because yes, I'm always still support Black, right? But there comes a point in time where it's just like, can we show up as the spaces that we want to go to? As a business, can we provide that same service? Can we stop extending all this grace to a company that isn't trying to improve because they're Black and so they're just supposed to be given the grace, or it's just supposed to be expected that the business won't be as great or as good? For the movers to be complaining about moving furniture, like you're complaining to me about the job that you chose for yourself. And I was so annoyed because I'm like, this could be my uncle, this could be my cousin, this could, like, you literally come from an island that I know has nothing but hardworking men. And y'all niggas just let white men outwork y'all. In a way that it made me upset.
Louder and louder.
I know, it just made me upset.
Speaking facts right now.
It made me upset. And it's like, in 2025, where we all want to see Black excellence. We want to see Black entrepreneurship. We want to see Black businesses excel. Like, I love what Picky Cole is doing and what Dave is doing, and even seeing what other people in our space have been able to do with Earn Your Leisure and all of these other pods. I mean, shit, even Cam and Mace, like, niggas coming in interrupting shit, right? It's just like, when it comes to being a Black business owner, can you not expect your own people to suffer because you refuse to give a better experience? And I think it's what I'm noticing being in Atlanta more too, is that as Black people, we're just supposed to allow it and expect it and not speak down on it. But let an establishment be racist, and we need to make sure we tell everybody not to go there. I want us to start being able to accept criticism and show up in a way that provides us the service, so that as a Black community, niggas can't talk about how our shit ain't up to par and ain't good. And listen, y'all don't even know the back and forth I had and the way I was upset that they was even Jamaican. I swear to God, I wanted them to be anything else.
Were they Jamaicans that just...
You heard the accent.
Atlanta is just...
I don't know, but they had an accent,
Right.
okay?
They had a Southern accent.
No, they had a Jamaican accent.
So maybe Atlanta is just a passing, stomping... You know, they're just passing through. They're not really from
Nah, he been
Atlanta.
there 18 years. Oh. We had the conversation.
Like, that's what I was saying. Do we charge that L to Atlanta, or do we charge it to Jamaica or the community at large?
So that's the Sam's Movers. By the way, you're not going to be able to find him. I looked to try to give him a Google review.
I want to see if they had like a fire Instagram page. You know, they have fire Instagram pages.
Movers.
And then the business is trash.
No website. Couldn't leave a Google review. However, I internally was just like, I hate that we give this pass to our own people, right? I also thought about just the stereotype across the thing, right? The stereotype that Asians do better nails. The stereotype that we want a Maria doing the cleaning. I ain't gonna hold you. I went as racist as to say, I'm hiring Mexicans off Buford Highway next time.
To do your move?
And not only the move, bro, you give them a 6-pack of fucking, what do they drink? Corona, Heineken, and they good to go. But even that, like, I know, this is bad. This is problematic.
I'm good with the Mexican community, so, you know, nah.
Bro,
but I get
problematic.
it. But that's a narrative, too, that I hear that a lot. Like, people are like, yeah, I'm going to go hire some Mexicans, you know,
bro,
to do some landscaping.
And so a part of me is just like, okay, we live in this world of stereotypes. Yeah. But as a community, we want reparations, we want respect, we want all of these things.
This what you doing?
I know.
Going big with it.
I know.
Go ahead, go off.
And I don't want people to be mad, but I do want them to think like, damn.
Right.
What? And mind you, what I also implore you to do is flood the comments of Black businesses that you've gone to and received excellent service, because I want to send more people there. But my frustration in wanting to buy Black, support Black, is that we still have this an entitlement that I don't know where it comes from, but for each other.
Yeah.
Like that also as Black people, we should just accept what we're given, even when it's from a Black business. And I hate that for us, because what I also hate is that we wouldn't show up that way for white people. I think people want to be respected by the white people and not respected by our own community more, if that makes sense. Like, I hate that they just think that we have to accept the bullshit.
Sure. But so I have a question for you though. So
Yes.
that's black businesses, right? But
Yes.
and I do think that owners are probably too sensitive to criticism.
They are.
Right? And I think a lot of times when you say something to them, they then try to explain like their business, and I don't necessarily want to know how your business operates.
Don't give a
for the
fuck.
reasons,
Do
right?
better.
But my question to you, as black consumers,
As
right?
black consumers, yes.
I hear you on the grace part, but are we also?
Nah, fuck the grace. I told you I don't like that
But
one.
are we also? but are we also too critical? Where one black business, one black moving company did you dirty, so so now you're just off all black moving companies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes I think we come down too critical with the one strike, and we're like, well, damn, this whole sector, they out of here, they done.
Luckily, I don't plan to move anytime soon. But I'll be honest with you. I would say a creature of habit, right?
And,
So
and also, hold on, real quick before you get
Yeah.
into. I know you don't like Grace, but she's sitting here in the room real quick. Define what our grace is, though. Because if it's just limited to, well, I gave you my presence and I'm here, is that the grace?
No,
what you're
no.
saying?
So here's the thing. I'm still going to eat in black establishments and buy from black businesses. So that's my grace.
Right.
Is okay. Probably won't do moving companies anymore with black movers, but I'm still going to support in other areas. I'm not gonna lie. I live in this life like to where. Why do we not want our life to be made easier, right?
Yeah.
So when you go out and spend your hard-earned money, and this is the consumer speaking, bro, I just worked 40 hours a week. Uncle Sam done took out what he took out, and now I'm speaking for the consumer that's not me, right? I understand what it feels like to work hard as fuck for your money, and when you save up enough to go out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
So when you go out and buy drinks or you're around your friends and you're eating, the last thing you want is a bad experience.
Yeah.
And so as a consumer, I'm not against people seeking the experience that makes them enjoy spending their money. It doesn't feel good to spend your money and get shit service. It doesn't feel good to spend your money and get shit quality. That's another thing too.
Yeah.
Just because you're black owned, but is your quality up to par? Like, and I think that's the thing. I respect a consumer's ability and the work effort that it took for them to make the money that they're spending. And I think that has to be considered from a business standpoint.
Yeah,
Bro,
sure.
these people work hard to spend their dollars here. Do not feel entitled to the consumer's dollar,
I-
whether they're black or not.
Yeah, I hear you. It sounds a little bit to me like, remember when Jay-Z was like, my presence is charity? Enough? And people were like, yo, but what the fuck? Like, you're not giving any money. What? He's like, if I show up, it's charity. My presence is enough. And sometimes I feel like, you know, people saying like, well, I support black businesses. Like, I came. Like, they think that that's the effort enough. And to me, that's no different than if you go to a white place, you go to a white place. Like, I think grace needs to extend more than like, oh, I had this. And by the way, your experience is like
Bruh.
OD crazy.
Bro, asking me for Hennessy and calling the pizza cold
that's
and still and then having the nerve to ask for more money on top of what.
So that's the hook. Like that's the hook. They're done. Like that's finito, right? But like, and I think a lot of it too, especially when we talk about Atlanta and black businesses, we're talking about like restaurants, right?
Yeah.
And so like, you know, you go to a restaurant and it's like, yo, damn, we've been here for an hour and we just now getting like my second drink, right? And so but I think a lot of times we're like, yo, like I had this one bad experience and it's like, oh, it's done.
Right.
And that's it, right? And like and again, just going with the restaurant, if you're a food critic, you would go to the place twice before you render like your judgment, right? And so sometimes I think we
That's
say
a lie.
like
Food critics ain't going to places twice.
They do. Oh, if you're a good
They
one.
on the ticker talk first time.
But my point is like we say like grace and like I really don't think we give
compassion.
grace. Yeah, like I think going one time and having a bad experience, like granted, it's a bad experience. You paid a lot of money, whatever. But like to be like, well, I had grace because I came here. Like to me, I'm like, that's not enough. Like,
So I'm not gonna lie.
Because sometimes I think we're just quick with the trigger. Like,
But
yo, I had
no,
this
but-
one
but-
bad
but
experience.
that's the thing.
And then we're like, yo, that
put an umbrella on
spot
it.
is a wash.
But let's take color out of it.
Yeah.
If you go to an establishment, black owned or not.
Not all lives matter, Mandy.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that.
but if I go
I
to-
did not
if I-
just say
yeah.
I don't see color, okay? No, what I'm saying is, again, going back as the consumer, if you're gonna spend your money and you have a bad experience,
Yeah.
why go there again? Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Here we go, be a Mandy.
Yeah.
not a lot of if you have sex with somebody and it's whack.
That's an off night.
You owe it to them to give them a second chance.
I ate the wrong thing.
Nah, that's
I
crazy.
had a little BGs. It was just the wrong night. You caught me on the wrong night.
I ain't gonna hold you.
If she bites you, nah, I'm sorry. Let's
See what I mean?
That's another episode.
But I'm not gonna lie. We do that with sometimes with partners. Like if we try, or we do it with food. Let's just be as if we try something once and we don't like it, 9 times out of 10, we not going back. Why does the grace have to be extended? Because we come from the same lineage.
But I think we don't order that same dish, but we'll go back. I think that happens more often with white spots. I think that happens more often with white spots. I think with black spots,
I'll go to a white spot, and if
you
I
go to a
don't
black
like
spot,
it,
you're like this. Because again, it's like there's a bad. And I know what you're gonna say. If I have a bad waitress, does that make a bad restaurant? And I know you're gonna say, well, management hired her, and that's part of the whole experience. Like, I knew I was walking into that.
Yep.
You know, it's funny when even our white contemporaries, they'll say,
not our white contemporaries. What are we doing?
We're professional podcasters, buddy.
This is the unserious seriousness right here.
It's like they'll say, you know, yo, I went to this restaurant and I had, what did you eat? Oh, I had this. Oh, you got to try this the next time you go.
Right.
Like they'll do that. We'll be like, to your point, we're like, nah, that shit is clipped. I'm going over the next wherever.
Yeah, I mean, white waitresses be like, oh, I'd never eat that. But I like these 3 dishes.
I like these, right, yep.
But if I would have got that,
now Sam and crew, so we'll say Sam and company, granted, you don't want to move again, but if you had to do so, I would encourage you to vet maybe another black.
How the fuck do you vet movers? Do y'all hear this?
I mean, we have.
Look,
you gotta look at that Instagram page. That's what Instagram, Google.
I would never hire movers that don't have an Instagram page.
Now you
right up. Rooms to go said, these the niggas we use. Here you go. And we use them all the time. They're trusted.
What was the Russian mover company?
Piece of cake. They was great.
They probably have a fire.
They got the pink joint. They got the pink. They all over the place.
They're all over the place.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They have brand visibility. Sam and Co.
Sam didn't even have a website.
That was a referral of a referral.
There was a referral of a referral.
And wait, hold on. You gave him the 50 on. What?
Oh no, I gave him an additional 150.
Okay, so what was the final words? As everything's complete now, or somewhat complete, and the exit is happening.
You know what's crazy? Let me tell you how it ended. I paid him the additional 150.
That hurts me.
On top of his rate. Mm-hmm. Do you know he smiled and said, "Oh man, you got your couch, right? You got another. You got another." He wanted to do another job for me.
Oh,
baby, when I threw that card away so fast, no.
When did the sucking the teeth stop?
At the very end.
When I gave him the extra 150.
So my mom always told me that sucking your teeth mean kiss my ass. So he's been telling you quietly to kiss his ass for the 3 hours.
When I say, and look, I have my mouth right now is moist. When I tell you
what podcast are we on?
Tell you that,
this is horrible real quick.
Decisions.
The sucking of the teeth was the loudest. It was the Jamaican sucking of the teeth. Y'all know Jamaicans got the different type of sucking teeth, bruh.
Yeah, they suck teeth like they got the a toothpick in the corner of their mouth.
They suck teeth like it's an ad lib for them, okay?
That's breathing right there, yeah.
The shit was loud. Nonetheless, I would
have gave the neighbor a bottle of Hennessy.
Listen,
he should have been the one to get
it. Listen, I gave the neighbor my parking spot while I was out of town, so there we go. We made up for it. Nonetheless, these are the types of conversations y'all are going to hear on Selective Ignorance. We're going to deep dive into all the social discourse of everything from politics to music to current events to social issues to all the things. And you know what? I will always encourage you guys to join in on the conversation. So like I said, make sure you follow us, you add us. All of the tags will be in the description of this episode. Make sure you join us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Selective Ignorance to watch the full video of this, but also to join in on the conversation. Let's talk about Black businesses that are excellent, that you do support, that do show up and make you feel like, ooh, I'm so proud of us. Please let's share that. But also, in 2025, I hope that we can, have some more, I don't know.
Grace. Not that.
Y'all gotta stop with this goddamn Grace. I hate her. Nonetheless, y'all, Selective Ignorance. Welcome to the first episode. If you're listening to this out the gate, we got another one right after this. And we are talking about corporate cancel culture. That's right, with a good friend of mine, Antoinette. from around the way curls. And again, I will be joined weekly by some of my faves, your faves, and maybe some of the people that you guys choose to hate. But you'll be able to hear us talk about all the things that bring us discourse and hear our point of views here on Selective Ignorance. Y'all ain't got an outro or nothing yet, but hey, you will hear us and see us every week, and you can hate it or you can love it. Either way, will you be choosing to be selectively ignorant? I guess we will see. Or will you be choosing to be educated? Y'all, I will see you all next week. Thanks, guys. Y'all gonna say bye to him now?
Peace.
Welcome to Selective Ignorance, ignorantly selective.
Okay, now you just did the most. Bye, guys.